but we're talking about shaving and waxing before going in for a float. And not necessarily directly before a float, but at what point before a float can you do that before it's not very comfortable when you actually go in? So where should we start with this? I have so many things going on in my mind right now.
You remember that song, The Log Driver?
Yeah.
You look like the log driver right now. Burning down and down white water. That's how the log driver
Like, I'm not
burns.
sure how I feel about this because part of me is into it and the other part is not into it.
Is that how the lyrics go?
I don't know, man.
Is
You're
it
the one that
burning
brought this
down?
up. I don't think it's
Down?
burning down.
So he goes burning down and down white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly.
As he goes burning down
Might
and
be.
down white water. That's how the
Maybe,
log driver
maybe you can
burns.
just clip some of that in to the extent that we don't get our video taken down. So this video doesn't actually take a lot of information to talk about, but we're gonna fill in 90% of it with talking about
The log driver.
the log driver and my beard.
Now he burns down the white waters.
Burning down those white waters. I really actually want to know what the lyrics are.
Burning down and down white water.
So
Well, that could be part of this video.
let's look up that later. Serious note, as this is how we transition into different parts of a video.
Yeah.
Do we mention it that much on the phone? Occasionally, we
I don't know.
tell
Do
people.
you mention it much on the phone?
Well, like when I
somebody
think,
phones in, are you like, make sure you don't shave or wax your body?
yeah, they're like, we didn't even book anything. I just have other questions.
Yeah.
But when we book people in, yeah, occasionally we'll mention. It's mainly actually when people ask, because when people phone in and book, we usually, because it's all this stuff is in confirmation emails that you get after you book in, whether that's online or if you call us. But yeah, I think that's just something we answer by like a
How about this?
case-by-case basis.
Today's video, I'll ask you questions and you answer me.
Sure.
Cool. Why do people shave and wax their bodies?
Are we just gonna go deep into that?
Just start with
I
that.
don't know. Why do people wax their bodies? They like a smooth, shiny surface for an aesthetic appearance and a smooth feel. Feels nice, feels sexy.
There you go.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents on shaving and waxing our bodies. My mind just goes straight to like full-on body wax, full-on shaving. After you shave or you wax, you have very sensitive skin, and when you get into a big tub of concentrated salt water, it's pretty much a nightmare for a short period of time. It stings. It doesn't feel very good. It's kind of like the similar reason that if you have any cuts or scrapes on you, you either want to cover them with some Vaseline, or just be prepared that the first few minutes of your float may be irritating. Some people experience it the same way. Like we have a couple customers who they shave like their face before they come in for a float, whether they float or not. How does that make sense? They shave every day. Hear me out. They shave every day, regardless if they're coming in for a float or not. That was like the ultimate version of when people mess up the first and last letter of 2 words. That was like straight up 2 sentences. But anyways, when it comes to shaving face, legs, other areas of our body, other sensitive areas of our body, it's just not a very comfortable experience when the first 5-10 minutes of your float, it feels like that area is just stinging and on fire. So it's a good idea to either plan to shave or wax later on in the day after a float, the next day, or like 24 hours before.
What's the difference between shaving and waxing?
And we need to do some research on this. One uses a blade, another uses hot wax that deeply grabs onto the follicles of your hair and rips them out of their little hair sockets, their skin sockets.
That's a good answer, actually.
I guess, I don't know, there's a lot of weird imagery going in my head about skin sockets.
So when did you start shaving then?
When I was 10 years old.
You started shaving when you were 10?
Yeah, I was a manly boy. I didn't hit puberty late. No, that's not true. I grew a full beard by the time I was 12.
Yeah?
No, that's not true.
Can you describe the similarities between shaving hair off your body and what happens during your experience in a float tank? How are they similar?
Are you trying to get me to compare what shaving is like to floating?
I'm trying to get you to explain the similarities between shaving your face
Yeah.
and going for a float.
Yeah. you have a really good float, especially if you have some stress and things happen in your life, it's like shaving off the stress when you go for a float so that you can have a smooth rest of your day. See where this is going?
I get
smooth rest of your day, maybe a couple days, maybe even a week if you had a really deep float.
Wow.
Very similar to if you want some smooth skin, you gotta shave it off with a sharp blade in the shape of a razor. A float tank is essentially a sharp blade and razor for your stress levels.
That's exactly what I was going for.
For the record, guys, before we go any further, just don't shave or wax before a float if you can get away with it.
So how do you want to wrap it up? I think you did earlier, but
I think I already wrapped it up.
should this video be more than 3 minutes?
I think it can be as long as we want it to be. If you actually want the real quick answer and less of blah blahing around, just don't shave or wax super close to your float session if it doesn't want to sting. If you can't help it or you forgot, it's up to you. If you have really sensitive skin, I'd suggest just giving us a call and saying, hey, I screwed up. Not gonna come in for a float. We won't be mad at you, it'll be fine. And on the flip side, if you don't think it will bother you and you're okay with kind of your skin being irritated and stinging for a few minutes, like very similar, like if I have a paper cut or something, I honestly just float. I don't put any Vaseline or anything on it. It stings for like 5 minutes and then goes away. But if I were to shave and go in, it's like, I just need to get out. It like feels like I have a fire ring around my neck and my head, like a big lion mane of fire.
Wow.
So that's that. On that note, I'm not sure if there's anything you want to add. When are you gonna grow a beard?
Never. Okay. See you
See you
next
later.
time. Well, that's that.
And we'll just pretend, just cut in that one section and pretend that I said that off the bat, and we haven't spent the last 2 minutes mumbling and bumbling words.
No, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll show the rest of it after. How would you deal with an ingrown hair?
I don't know, man.
That's the right answer. Actually, yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, okay, cool.